Discovery, go and throttle up. Discovery, go and throttle up. Discovery, go and throttle up.
Good morning, everybody. Hey. Oh. Easter weekend. Hey. Easter weekend. Hey. Easter weekend. Oh. How are you guys doing? Did you get much sleep? 'Cause I didn't. Nope. Nope. At least there's a rocket launch. A whole 3 hours. Yeah, Fuzzy, I'm about there with you. Didn't get a lot. But it's Easter, but we got a rocket launch. The Easter Bunny gonna bring us a nice gift here. Gonna bring us a nice gift. All right, morning BY. How you doing? How you doing, buddy? I'm freaking dude. What's going on? What's going into space today? Oh, yeah. SpaceX is launching the L-85 mission. So this is the National Reconnaissance Office launch.
Countdown net pad is clear.
10,
And
9,
yeah, what those satellites do.
Launch auto sequence has
7,
started.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, so it's going to be a really exciting mission.
confirmed. Dragon, separation confirmed.
That's nice.
Stage 1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
Falcon
I don't know what it
has
is,
landed.
dude. Yeah. I'm just here for the rocket landings.
Good morning, everyone.
John!
It's April 17th, 2022, and on your screen is a live view of Falcon 9 as it waits for its 6:13 a.m. Pacific Time launch from Space Launch Complex 4 East on Vandenberg Space Force Base. My name is John Innsbrucker, and I'm joining you today from our headquarters in Hawthorne, California, just about 170 miles south of our launch site. Our mission today is NRO L-85 for the National Reconnaissance Office, also referred to as the NRO. Today's flight carries a national security payload designed, built, and operated by the National Reconnaissance Office. NRO missions provide critical information to more than 500,000 government users, to include every member of the intelligence community, 24 domestic agencies, our nation's military, lawmakers, and decision makers. Now, per our customer's request, we will not be showing views of the payload, so we will be ending the webcast just after first stage landing. Today's flight is a special one, as it marks the first launch using a flight-proven booster for the NRO. Let's take a look at a recap of the previous mission this booster supported just 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was the other L-85 mission, or the other NRL mission is L-87. See? It's cool. Hey. Watch. Yep. Cool. The RCS would fix it, Sile. Yeah. Hey. No payload. No. Cool. Hit it. I like that. Yep. Yeah, I don't hate this. Yeah, that was just 2 months ago. Can you believe that? Vandenberg. I like that. That's pretty cool. That last thing was pretty cool.
Fantastic capability on orbit for the nation. So thank you all. You're why we are here today.
It's the GOAT.
The NRO L-87 mission you saw in the video launched only 2 months ago, and the same booster from that video will be launching today's payload into space. NRO L-85 also marks the NRO's 61st launch since public disclosure of launches began in December 1996. And it also marks SpaceX's 14th launch of the year. Now, at T-minus 7 minutes, 45 seconds, the conditions for today's launch are excellent.
And there are already
the weather's
14
great,
launches
the
in.
front went through, and the high winds from yesterday are gone. Weather officer giving us a 0% probability of violation.
LD on countdown 1 with the hold authority comm check. Please respond with strength and clarity. NOPS OD.
Loud and clear.
STC.
Loud and clear.
TC.
Loud and clear.
PD.
Loud and clear.
That concludes the hold authority comm check.
Hearing comm checks on countdown net 1. Continuing on, the range is ready to support. They're green. Finally, both the vehicle and payload are in good health. Let's take a closer look at the rocket supporting today's mission. You can see on the screen the Falcon 9 surrounded with the condensing gas
Start of engine chill.
as the atmosphere touches the cold first and second stages. That Falcon 9 is our 2-stage rocket. It stands 70 meters tall, making it just 3 meters short of the Taj Mahal in India. Now, we're currently loading propellants onto both stages of the rocket. That began on time at T-minus 35-minute mark. And as we just heard, chill has begun at T-minus 7 minutes.
So
Now, starting from the bottom, we have the first stage. We also refer to that as the booster.
I'm not interrupting, John.
That makes up over 60% of the length of the Falcon 9 vehicle. And while it's designed to be reflown multiple times with minimal refurbishment between flights, today's first stage will be flying for the second time, as I noted earlier. The first stage is powered by 9 Merlin engines, and that's where the 9 comes from in Falcon 9.
Stage 1, RP1 load is complete.
Fuel loading complete on the first stage. Now these Merlin engines get Falcon 9 off the ground and up to the edge of space. 2 minutes and 20 seconds into today's flight, the first stage should separate from the second stage. And once the stages separate, the first stage will do a quick flip and execute 3 more burns to return to Slick 4 West, landing zone 4 that you can see here in a shot. And that's just 1,400 feet from where it took off.
Yeah, the rocket's right over there.
Now mounted on top of the first stage, just above that black cylinder, is the white second stage.
It's cool.
Less than 10 seconds after stage separation, the second stage will light its single Merlin vacuum engine and continue to take the NRO L-85 payload to its intended destination. Now, while very similar to the Merlin engines on the bottom of the first stage, the Merlin vacuum engine has a larger nozzle that allows the second stage to perform better in the vacuum of space. At the very top of the stack, kind of surrounded in clouds, but that is the payload fairing, inside of which is the payload safely enclosed. That's a 17-foot diameter fairing, and that's the large cylindrical structure you can see there with the tapered nose. Now the fairing protects that satellite from aerodynamic heating, loads, and contamination during ascent.
All right, here, let's make sure we're up to speed here. We should see the strongback retract here. So there's a little mechanical claw right there. There's 2 of them. They're going to open up. It's a pretty dang good indicator that the rocket is fully fueled and ready to go. After that, the strongback will retract to, 78 degrees. This is an old school strongback. This thing is going to move back into the retracted position. It's not a throwback one like Slick 40 and Slick 39, or LC39A. Where like when the rocket goes, the thing it'll shoot back. No, it'll just move back into position. See, there it goes.
Tomorrow, about 15 minutes earlier. Right now, you can see the strongback is retracting away from the Falcon 9. The clamps opened up a little bit earlier. We're now moving away. It's moving from a position of 90 degrees upright to about 77 degrees. This is different from our East Coast launches, where we move a couple of degrees at first and then pull further away at liftoff.
Hey.
Now we're coming up on T-minus 3 minutes, at which time loading of liquid oxygen on the first stage should be complete, and we'll hear the closeout call. And at that point in the countdown, both the first and second stages are...
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
There we go. Stage 1 LOX load is complete. That means we're still loading LOX on the second stage, but we've got almost a million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen on the Falcon 9 right now.
Zongu, the sun,
meanwhile, the strongback is fully reclined at that 77-degree position. It's ready for liftoff.
Should get an illuminated
you can see a little
bloom
bit
here.
of the
You should
views
see a
in those
jellyfish.
close-ups where you saw the umbilical stretching out. They're carrying the gas, communications, commands, and propellants to the Falcon 9
more of a
second
strong
stage.
woman than a strong back. Well, okay.
Now next up, coming up in about 25 seconds, we ought to hear completion of loading liquid oxygen onto the second stage.
Yeah, right.
And that will complete propellant loading for flight. And going a little farther into the countdown at T-minus 60 seconds, the rocket's internal flight computers on the first and second stages will take over the launch countdown. And just inside of 2 seconds, we'll light the Merlin 1D engines. Falcon 9 will command the ground to release the hold-down clamps at T0 as we reach liftoff thrust.
Those little puffs out there, them making sure the pressure doesn't get too high in the second stage.
Liquid oxygen load complete on the second stage.
Vin, if it lights up the
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
Good. If it lights up the
That's
plume,
what
you
we're
should be
waiting
able
for.
to see it.
We're on the mark. And right now, the NRO L-85 payload team continues to be go, and the Falcon 9 team is tracking no issues on the rocket. T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Transporter reactor purge is good.
We're now venting down the strongback.
Gas launch closeouts.
That's what they call the gas launch closeouts. That's why you're seeing the large cloud coming off the strongback as we bleed off the pressure and drain the liquid oxygen in the line. Makes for a great show right now in the pre-dawn morning out at Vandenberg.
You want the fuel to be in this thing.
Coming up on 60 seconds
You
when we'll
don't
hear
want
the
the
startup
fuel to
call
be in
out.
this thing.
Startup call out on the flight
Because the
computers.
rocket, it's about to get really hot right here, and liquid oxygen makes
Falcon
stuff
9 is in startup.
make stuff explode real good. So you gotta get that stuff away from the rocket. In the rocket, good. Not in the rocket. No, you don't want that. That's why. Well, that's why they purged down the TE. So here we go. 40 seconds.
MDs go for launch.
Mission director says go for launch.
Now you've heard the call out coming up on T-minus
Yeah,
30
Vasi, it
seconds.
should be.
Mission director, go for launch.
Should be able to see
Everything looking good for Falcon 9 and NRO L-85.
I was gonna say it looks like there's clouds at Vandenberg, but they're not super low. The marine layer gets bad right when the sun comes up. So like you can see there's clouds up there. So it's gonna go into the clouds, but once it gets above the marine layer, it should be good. Here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Sound suppressor is on.
1, 0.
Got a good ignition.
Lift off the Falcon 9. Go NRO L-85.
2020. Yep. It's in the marine layer.
Pitching downrange.
And then it'll pop out here in a second. Ready?
Stage 1, chamber pressure is nominal.
Okay. Prop guy says chamber pressures are good. Yep. See how thick those clouds get? All right. That looked good. It's hard to see it in the clouds, though.
We're T plus 42
Foggers.
seconds into the NRO L-85 mission. We heard that first call
Power
out,
and telemetry nominal.
and power and telemetry are nominal. We're now into the throttle down. Falcon 9 decreasing thrust to prepare for max Q, the highest amount of aerodynamic pressure.
Yeah.
Vehicle supersonic.
Vandenberg.
Falcon 9 going faster
Super
than the
thick.
speed of sound. The Merlin engines have throttled back up to full power.
Okay.
Max Q.
Maximum dynamic pressure.
Now we're through the period of maximum dynamic pressure where the stresses are greatest on the Falcon 9.
They gotta throttle the engines back for a second because Falcon 9 can't move the air out of the way fast enough. It can't move that air out of the way, and it starts to compress the vehicle. You don't want it to
Plus 1
accordion
minute 30
too much.
seconds.
Too much.
Everything
just a
continues to
little
be nominal on Falcon 9. Trajectory looking good on the first stage.
bit. National Reconnaissance Office, Ice Mage. Oh, look at that. See, once it gets above the clouds, the sun's going to illuminate it just like that.
We should hear a call out here shortly. MVAC
Oh, that's nice. Look what the Easter Bunny brought. More or less, Cammy. Yeah. I mean, there might as well be two different engines.
MVAC engine chill has begun.
Merry
Getting the
Christmas.
second stage engine ready
Hey,
for
Alex.
ignition coming up very shortly here. We're getting ready for main engine cutoff, stage separation. The first stage will head back to the launch site. The second stage will ignite and head to orbit.
It's a gabagool. That's right. Watch, the first stage gonna turn around and go back this way.
Nico.
Stage separation confirmed.
Yeet! Attitude control thruster should move the stage. There it goes.
MVAC ignition.
Stage 1 boost back startup.
Okay. There it goes. Watch.
And there you've heard it.
Oh.
We maybe even saw all those 5 events that happened
Yeet!
back to back.
There's the second
Now,
stage.
currently
Oh,
on the
that's
screen,
so
the first
cool.
stage has begun its flip maneuver to reorient the nose back towards Vandenberg.
Never gets
And we have
old.
lit 3 Merlin engines. This
That's
is the
so
boost back
cool,
burn. The first
dude.
of 3 burns the first stage will execute.
I've watched hundreds of
This
these.
burn
I
lasts a
don't care.
duration of about 48
Still
seconds.
cool.
Now, while the burn's in progress, we'll also be having events on the second stage, but we may not be hearing those. And we won't be broadcasting second stage camera views at the request of our customer.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And we did hear fairing separation over the net.
There could have
Boost
shown
back
it.
burn shutdown is coming up.
Stage 1 boost back shutdown.
Right on time.
Okay.
We've got shutdown of the 3 Merlin engines. We'll next be waiting to see the titanium and grid fins begin their deploy now that the boost back burn is complete.
That's the RCS, cold gas nitrogen thrusters. And then they...
And here come the fins.
Yep.
Pin pullers releasing and the 4 titanium
It's RTLS,
grid fins
guys.
beginning their slow deploy.
It's going to land right next to the launch pad, which is cool. Vandenberg has the landing pad for Falcon 9
We're coming up on
I think
4
John
minutes
said
into
1,400
launch.
feet from the
now
pad.
with that boost back burn done,
cool.
our first stage will be attempting its landing in just 4 minutes at T plus 8 minute mark.
This is going to be a little bit
We're
of a
now
crazy
heading back
landing
to the
because
launch
of
and
the
landing
clouds.
site at Slick 4, but you'll notice the first stage has continued to coast up to apogee. You can see there on the screen we've got the altitude and speed indicators
2
of the
months,
first
Alex?
stage. 132 kilometers, and now we'll begin descending back down towards the Earth's atmosphere.
The last landing, the last Falcon 9 to land at
There will be 2
Vandenberg
more
was
burns
this
of
booster
the first stage
2 months
engines.
ago.
One will be the entry burn.
pretty
That's the
cool.
next one up. Again, where 3 of the Merlin engines will reignite, the same 3 we just used on that boost
Now
path
that's
to
a
head it back
view.
to Vandenberg.
This is looking
There's
up.
a view looking out of the inner stage on the first stage. Second stage now gone, but that gives you an idea if you were
I don't know,
sitting
Drummer, but
inside
it's
the inner stage what the
definitely
view
up
looks
here.
like out of it. There's a view. We're slowly getting some of the ocean and California clouds as the first stage continues to orient and head back towards the landing zone.
They're thermally
Now
conditioning
the entry burn that I mentioned that'll
booster
be
there
coming up,
for that entry burn.
that'll be to help slow the stage down
Nice
in preparation
view.
for entry
Both
back.
vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Okay.
We got a good call out there.
It
Everybody's on
does,
nominal
Flight Sim, yeah.
trajectories.
Thanks for the bits, man.
You may be able to see on the right-hand side above that right grid fin that kind of whiter squiggly line. I think
the
that may
ascent.
be the contrail from
Yeah.
the liftoff
Yeah.
of the Falcon 9
Rocket
as
was
we're
just
heading
there.
back right towards about that spot, 1,400 feet away from the liftoff.
Yeah, it's going to land right
Now
around
you
over
can see
here.
the altitude decreasing. We're down to just inside the 100-kilometer point. Velocity is picking up again. The entry burn will light, and that'll scrub off some of that speed.
She's about
Now, in
60
the vacuum
miles
of
up.
space, you can see these white pulses. That's nitrogen gas from attitude control thrusters on the inner stage. They're being used to orient and aim the launch vehicle first stage. These thrusters are up on the
Same
inner
amount
stage
of fuel every time, Sile. It has
near
to
the
do with
top
payload,
of the first stage.
payload mass.
Now, right now, you can see the grid fins aren't doing anything, but once we get back into the atmosphere, look for them to begin moving because it's in the denser air that these fins provide that steering that we need of the vehicle during descent.
Got to get some
Right now, we're
supersonic
waiting
retro
for the entry
propulsion,
burn to
baby.
begin.
Okay. You'll know the grid fins will start doing things when they start.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
Oh, there they go. System is primed. Watch, they'll
Reverse
start
startup. There's the center engine is lit.
and then 3
And now
engines.
we've got 2 more engines up, changing the shape of the plume. Now, if you're watching the speed display, you'll notice the velocity is quickly coming down. Now, this burn will last about 21 seconds.
We should get this camera all the way down.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Nice.
And we've got shutdown of the entry
Here we
burn.
go. Watch the
If
grid
you're
fins.
watching that speed display, you'll notice we took out about half of the velocity of the first stage.
Oh, that's so legit.
We've still got 1 more burn to go,
man.
and that's the landing burn. Now, during the first stage landing burn, the center Merlin engine will relight and slow the vehicle down for its
Watch,
second
this thing's
landing
gonna,
attempt
this thing's
back
gonna
on
turn
land, not too far
and
from
come
our
in.
launch
The
site.
landing pad's like right above my
Stage 1
finger.
FTS is saved.
Flight termination system on the first stage has now been safed.
Watch, grid fins are gonna really turn it here. Oh, jeez.
Landing burn coming up in about 10 seconds.
Oh boy. Okay.
Stage 1 is transonic.
Look at how much load those things are under. See, they're like, they're
Stage
really
2
shaking
FTS
around.
is saved. Stage 1 landing burn.
Okay,
We've got
here we
landing
go.
burn. You see the grid fins beginning to operate. Waiting to come through the cloud deck for a view of landing zone 4.
Chad,
The
we'll be
old
all right if we
Slick 4
reach the
West
fog.
at Vandenberg.
It's okay. They don't chase you. They don't chase you for a mile. They can't catch you for a mile. They stop chasing you.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Maybe it's 2 miles. Oh. Okay, she's correcting. Here she goes.
Landing leg
View from the
deployed.
ground camera. Landing leg deployed.
Dude, come on,
Stage 1
man.
landing confirmed.
Dude, come on.
And as you
That's
see on your
so
screen, the
cool.
Falcon 9 first stage has successfully landed at our landing zone, making this the second consecutive landing for
What
this
the
booster.
frick? Right
And
through
it
the
also
clouds,
marks our
right to the landing
114th
site.
overall successful recovery of a first stage booster.
That's so sick.
Now, since we just finished the landing of the first stage, at the request of our customer, we are concluding our webcast coverage early today. We want to thank the NRO and the U.S. Space Force for entrusting us with today's launch.
the
And of
frick?
course, thank you to all of you for joining us, and hope you'll all enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Happy Easter, John. Well, was that where we're waking up? That was sick. It was it dried the pad fast. They spray the pad down with water on purpose so it doesn't melt the concrete. Rocket engines, usually anything that's underneath a rocket engine doesn't. Yeah, usually anything under a rocket engine doesn't. That's probably the right way to say that. Yeah. So yeah, they film cool the pad by spraying it down with water, and it dries it very quickly. Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, hot. Yep. How cool was that? Yeah, they get a little bit hot. Train time? My family would kill me, Shaw. I'm not doing that. I got a sick picture of the launch. Let me see someone. Wow, that's yeah, great. That picture wasn't cool, it was hot. Enhance. 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 Alright, we want to see NSF? Alright, Ambassador, we can see that real quick. I do have stuff to do, though, today. So this was Michael's out there doing the auto track. Let's see. I don't think they got a good view of the launch per se. It looks like they did SpaceX's. Yes, alright, let's see what we got. Oh, ho, ho. Well, look at the first stage. The second stage over there, first stage up there. That's pretty neat. You can tell it's a boost back because of the way it is. I think Michael deployed the auto tracker today, so yeah, here, let's fast forward a little bit. There's the first stage. I think this is automatic tracking. All right, let's see. All right. You should see the supersonic retropropulsion burn. SSRB. Watch. So the entry burn is not just this NSF shot. I can already tell this is going to show it a lot better than the like on SpaceX. I mean, obviously NSF can't give you a first-person view, but look, when they do the entry burn, the flames from the rocket engine push the re-entry heating out of the way. They push the plasma out of the way. There it is, right there. That's the heat shield. It looks like something re-entering, doesn't it? Falcon 9 basically shields itself in its own exhaust plume, and that's what keeps it from breaking up. That's what keeps it from re-entering. That's why it's called the re-entry burn. You see that? Isn't that something? They shoot gases. They shoot fire at plasma to get to shield the rocket. If that isn't fighting fire with fire, I don't know what is. No, it's fighting plasma with fire, right? Like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. It also slows it down, yeah, of course. And then, yeah, I think there was just the rest of the SpaceX view. But that's pretty cool. I want to see that one more time if we could. So once again, this is coming from NASA spaceflight. Hey, Bird Dog, 42-month resub. Hey, Flight Sim. Oh. Happy Easter, buddy. Oh, that's so cool. Man, that's legit. Look at that. That little stick. Thing's only, what is that? It's only a 15-story building just flying through space right now. So that's how tall the first stage is. 15-story building. Falcon 9 is not short. It's a pretty tall rocket for what it is. That's automatically tracked too. That's NSF's auto tracking cam, which is pretty freaking good. Yeah, that sound of the sonic boom echoed here in the valley. That's cool, Knight. It's pretty sweet. Look at the grid fin oscillating right there. That's great, man. Yeah, that's right, Jim. Hey, Whitney. Space Explorer. She was covering this cast
Discovery, go at throttle
in
up.
Français. Thanks for the raid. C'est parti. No. Yeah, that's cool. Coming out of the fog, right? Oh, right onto the landing pad. That's sick. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Yeah, well, I mean, weather guy, it depends on certain atmospheric conditions, but yeah, they usually like that a lot. Cool launch for a Sunday. How far up the first stage is the camera? It's pretty much at the very top of the interstage looking down. It's up at the very top. It's way up here. Kerbal today? Oh, it's Easter, guys. Family. 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 Yeah. That's right, Rice. Yep. Family. Family. All right. So, Whitney, I do appreciate the raid. Thank you very much, but I got stuff to do today. They must use LiDAR or radar or some triangulation technique to land that perfectly. The landing pad, Ben, is the paint on the landing pad, the SpaceX logo, is painted with radar reflective material, and Falcon 9 is bouncing that. It has a downward facing radar on it somewhere. I think it's in the engine section. I don't know where it is. It has. I would assume it's on the bottom of the rocket. It has a downward facing radar, and like how a plane would have a downward facing radar to get a good cross section, it has one of those in there, and it's looking for the pad. It's looking for the signal. It'll bounce the signal and it'll home in on that signal, which is actually pretty cool. It's really neat, actually. But anyway, you can see the camera in this image. It's the pod with the red cover. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, see? It's right there. That's the camera. It's at the very, very top of the interstage. That's an old Falcon 9 interstage, though. This is a separator mechanism right there. A separator and a latching mechanism. Yeah. Yeah, you too, Gabe. You too. Happy Easter. Buona I forget how to say it. Pascal? Buona Pascali? I forget. I know what that means, though.